Okay, now we're going to have some fun mixing up inversions. When you mix up inversions, one of the advantages, you don't have to hop around. So let me give you an example. So let's say you start on a G in root position. When you want to go to C, if you only knew root position, you'd have to jump up here. And you'd constantly jumping around. So by knowing inversions, you can play chords and hardly have to move. You just move a finger or two. Sometimes you just move one finger and it makes a different chord. So let's start on a G chord. Now, if we wanted to play the closest C we could think of, okay, we would actually keep this G because that's the fifth of C. Okay, so we're on G. If we want to find the closest C, we keep the thumb and we play second inversion C, which goes like this. You're on the fifth of C. Here's the C chord, the C note, and there's your third. So you got your fifth. So that's second inversion C. Hopefully you remember that. So you got root position G, and then to get to second inversion C, you just move these top two fingers, and there's your second inversion. So to play from G to C, instead of doing this, you can now do. It's a pretty cool sound, especially once you get so you know them all. You can move up and down. And you can even take a chord, take two chords, and kind of keep climbing down. Watch this. And eventually you can play a whole song. Let's say you had three chords, G, C, and D. G, C, D. And I can stay in one position. I could go up a little bit, play first inversion G, C. So you can just kind of creep along rather than jump around like a frog. So let's practice this, okay? We're going to start with our root position G. Now play second inversion C by changing these top two fingers. We're just going to go back and forth, okay? Let's go back to G. Second inversion C. We'll go a little slower. Root position G. Notice that the thumb stays on both chords. So, practice going from root position to second inversion. Root position G, second inversion C, and back. Nice. So practice that for a minute. Now we're going to try G first inversion. Let's find that. And let's do C in root position. And back to G first inversion. B, D, G. There's our G chord first inversion. C, get to play in root position. And you're hardly moving. And you'll notice that the G stays. In both of these chords, G is the common note, so you're going to notice the G gets to stay. Wherever finger's on G, it gets to stay. So you're always moving just two fingers. Let's do it a couple times. Say, let's play four of each. Ready? First inversion, G, go. C root position. G first inversion. C root position. Let's go back to G root position. Go. Now we're going to go to C second inversion. Let's go back to G first inversion. Ready? Here we go. C root position. Nice. Go back to root position G. Second inversion C. All right. So let's go up to second inversion G. Now, our rule for this little exercise is we're always going to err to the side of going up if we have to go up. So, since D is not in a C chord, we're going to go up to the note E, and we're going to change our fingering so we can play. So we got second inversion G, and when we go up to our C, we're going to be playing, can you figure out which inversion this is? That would be first inversion of C. So second inversion G, first inversion C. Believe it or not, this gets really easy. It does take quite a bit of practice, but eventually this requires very little thought. A lot of things in music are like seeing somebody. So if you see your neighbor across the street, you know very quickly who it is. Oh, that's Bob, or that's Rachel. Okay? And music's like that. You just have to know that this is second inversion G, and you have to know a lot of things about it. This is the third of G, that's the root, that's the fifth. C, here's the third, here's the fifth, here's the root of C. And eventually you'll know all those things very quickly, and then it gets easy. Sort of like speaking. You don't really think about every word you're saying, or how it's spelled. You know the language well enough where you can just speak without much effort. Music's the same way. So let's practice these. Let's go from root position to the closest C and back. Ready? Here we go. Cool. Let's go up to the first inversion G. Find your closest C, which is root position. Back to G. Now let's go up to the next G, which would be second inversion. And here you're going to go first inversion C, second inversion G. Let's go back to first inversion C. And that's the exercise we're going to work on. So we're going to do exercises where we play two chords, and you start in one position, root position here, and find the closest note going up. So if there's ever a question, your fingers go up. We could go down, but we're not doing that for this exercise. We're going to always go err on the side of going up. So work on this. Then go up one. Then you can go back to root position. Okay? If that gets easy, try going backwards, go down. Practice that. That's going to take a little practice. I would say practice that for about 5 minutes. Okay? Going up and going down. And then head on over to the assignment.